Bro, what's wrong with my headphones right now, bro? The audio's like shifting to one side when I fully plug in the cord. But then I can just have that out a click and it works just fine. But when I plug it all the way in, it all shifts to one side. And let me tell you guys, I don't know how the fuck, how it's even doing that, man. I don't even know how it's doing that, man. Shit, I don't even know. Let me turn my music volume down. Turn my computer volume down before I start echoing like crazy. Before I start echoing like crazy! Ow! Man, I'm getting dumb! No, that's not why y'all came here. That's not why y'all came here, okay? I understand that, though. That is not what y'all came here for. Y'all came here because y'all wanted to watch me explain some more FNAF lore. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to be beginning on the lines of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. The location of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 opens up in, like, I would say mid 1987. Or no, it opens up late 1987 in, like, November. It opens in, like, November of 1987. The location of Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is considered also considered Freddy Fazbear's Pizza the Second. This location during the opening of this location, Henry still has two problems that he needs to take care of: William and security. For the security purpose, he wanted to try and make it to where he would make a security system out of the animatronics that will allow him, customers, and other employees in while keeping William out. So William creates the toy animatronics. Next, with Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, a Toy Chica, and a Toy Foxy. See, these new toy animatronics are complete with a whole facial recognition software and advanced mobility. So, according to Phone Guy, they can detect a predator a mile away. The original animatronics who are now the withered animatronics, as well as Marionette, all get taken over to the other location and were used for parts to make the toys. Along with that, Balloon Boy and JJ come out of retirement from the sister location bunker. When the location opens up in late 1980s, in like November of 1987, a man named Jeremy Fitzgerald takes place as the night shift security guard, and that's who we play as. And that's who we play as in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 game. We play as Jeremy Fitzgerald. At least for the first 6 nights. We'll talk about that later. Throughout the week, once William soon finds out about the new location, he goes undercover as the day shift security guard. First, he attempts to go in peacefully, but he attempts to go in peacefully, but Henry meets him at the front doors just to tell William, come on man, you can't be here. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. No, William meets Henry at at a bar called Junior's. And when he tries to talk to William, or when William tries to talk to Henry about it, all Henry says is, come on, you know you can't be here. Don't make it needs to be. So that William's like, Henry, this is our company. We're in this together. Henry hesitates. We're? This makes William instantly mad. Are you fucking kidding me? After everything we've been through. You mean everything that you... Henry, you mean that everything that you caused, which you're responsible for, including killing those innocent kids? William attempts to hesitate. Don't even, William. Henry, don't even do it. We can all see the truth behind the lines, William. William, I'm not letting you back. I'm not gonna let you come back and watch as you end up hurting more innocent people. William gets personal with Henry. Henry, I need this. We need this. The company will die without me. Henry continues to hesitate. Henry ignores and says, please, just leave the premises, old friend. With a defeated look in his eyes, William complies. He walks outside, steps into his car, and leaves. William drives ferociously home. To see Mrs. Afton. Yes, I mixed up parts a little bit. Mrs. Afton doesn't die until later. Mrs. Afton doesn't die until after Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Going into Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Why are you running? Idiot. Good Lord. Okay. So that way, Michael, when William goes, like in the Moonlight cut, the secret Moonlight cutscene, not the Moonlight Racers cutscene, towards the end, where William is portrayed as a yellow stick figure. The yellow stick figure is William. William goes up to the door, and to a door, and assumingly that's Michael's door. That's Michael's bedroom door. So he tells him to open his door because it's locked. His door is locked, so he tells him to open his door. He knocks on it. He tells him to open the door. So he's like, he can't ignore me. I'll find a way in from inside. He goes out, or from outside. He goes outside to his window and finds his window broken and footsteps running away, heading towards the I would assume either the abandoned diner for whatever reason or another, or possibly Freddy Fazbear's Pizza the Second. With the way William says, ran off to that place again. He'll be sorry when he gets back. So either one of two things. Either William could be, or either Michael went to the abandoned Fredbear's to about his brother or something, or he could be going to the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza the Second to like talk to Henry and think about moving in. Like maybe Michael's like, Henry, please, I got nowhere else to go, or I have nowhere else to go. I have nowhere else to go. So, William being really tired of Michael sneaking off, this is what I would say he went to Freddy Fazbear's, because once William soon discovers about the new location, he goes undercover as a day shift security guard in an attempt to see what's going on. Bonbon. Okay. It's called, this is my explanation of the FNAF lore. I'm currently on Five Nights at Freddy, the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And most of our proof comes from Phone Guy throughout the nights. Like, the first thing we get from Phone Guy is excuse me, is proof that the bodies of the first dead kids were stuffed inside the suits of the first set of animatronics. Phone Guy's words, and I quote, "Oh, I just have that up there just for show. How are you today?" That's good, that's good. Well, Bonball, I hope I say that right. Bonball, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy and are able to obtain some of the knowledge that I'm going to be sharing. I also have 2 other previous videos where I started from the very beginning with the Fredbear Diner and stuff. And right now we're on the events of the second game. As I said, most of the stuff gets proven to us from Phone Guy. Like, the first on night 2, he proves to us that the bodies of the first 5 kids were stuffed in the suits of the now withered animatronics. Phone Guy's words, and I quote, "By now I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those were from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now. The idea at first was to repair them. They even started retrofitting them with some of the newer technology, but they were just so ugly, you know? And the smell. Once William finds out about the new location, considering Michael kept sneaking off to this new location just to get away from his parents, William goes undercover as the day shift security guard to figure out what in the world is going on. Like, why, Michael, why are you doing this? We have no part in this anymore. We find this out from Phone Guy as well. Phone Guy's words, and I quote, "Hey, before I go, I want you to ease your mind about any rumors you may have heard lately. You know how these local stories come and go and don't mean anything. I can personally assure you that whatever's going on out there, however tragic it may be, has nothing to do with our establishment. It's just all rumors and speculation, people trying to make a butt, you know. Our guard during the day has reported nothing unusual, and he's on watch from opening till close." So yeah, William, while he's undercover as the day shift security guard, he finds Marionette still there, and Charlie's still inside, and all the toys start to act unusual the second William steps in. He looks over at the game area and sees Balloon Boy and JJ. And he's like, how are they here? Or, what are they doing here? They're supposed to be in the bunker. And they start acting up as well with the new technology that they were given along with the toys. Toy Foxy, however, didn't get as much love as the rest of them did. The Toy Foxy, they changed Foxy's look entirely because they thought the first one on the left actually is the version of Foxy I'm talking about. They thought he was too scary, so they made him change his colors completely with a white and pink color scheme. One, and two, they made Foxy a girl. Or they made Foxy a girl with the toy variants. They made Foxy a girl. And Foxy's job was with the toddlers in Kids Cove. But according to Phone Guy on night 3, kids these days just can't keep their hands to themselves. So they ended up making Foxy a freaking take apart, put back together attraction. And the staff themselves got completely sick and tired of having to put the toy Foxy back together at the end of each shift. So they just left him there as like a take apart, put back together attraction, as Phone Guy words it. So now the toy Foxy is left as just a freaking amalgamation of parts. I think the employees just refer to him as just the Mangle. And thus, yay, we got Mangle. Round of applause for Mangle, everybody. Okay. So William clearly sees that there's problems and there's work that needs to be done in order to resolve it. He sneakily finds William finds Michael and Henry talking and overhears them talking about Michael moving in with Henry's family. Because he doesn't want to live with his parents anymore. This makes William mad and he goes on a rage spree. So William continuing his goal on his personal goal on becoming immortal, uses the Spring Bonnie suit once again and murders another 5 kids. We know this once again from Phone Guy. Phone Guy immediately starts with this on the phone call in night 6. Phone Guy's words, and I quote, hello, what on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. Let me ask you this, chat. Let me ask you this. Is that Golden Freddy? How many of you, when Phone Guy first said that, we had a spare in the back, a yellow one, someone used it, now none of them are acting right? How many of you thought it was gold? Everyone be completely honest. How many of you thought that was Golden at the time, how many of you thought that was Golden Freddy? I mean, I know when to admit myself. I originally thought, back when we first heard that, I originally thought that was Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy, it was not Golden Freddy. This wakes up Golden Freddy, or this wakes up the spirits inside Golden Freddy. And Golden Freddy starts moving around. But the suit that was used was not Golden Freddy. It was not the Golden Freddy or the Fredbear. It was the Spring Bonnie. It was the Spring Bonnie. Spring Bonnie. Bro, hey Stevie, man. YouTube, man, please leave me alone. I'm trying to stream. God. Alright, the final main thing we get in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, before Five Nights at Freddy's 2 ends, is William going... is this message from Phone Guy at the end of the Night 6 phone call. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow. A birthday. You'll be on day shift. Wear your uniform. Stay close to the animatronics and make sure they don't hurt anyone. Okay? For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. So, for starters, Jeremy Fitzgerald is moved to day shift, and Phone Guy, whose name in the end of Night 7 was revealed to be, his real name revealed to be Fritz Smith. Fritz Smith takes over as the night shift person. So, Jeremy, on his first day of shift, on day 7 of his shift, I'm missing something. The Spring Bonnie suit. William used the Spring Bonnie suit. Why? William's done this. Why did William do that? William did this to see if the bodies of the kids, would possess the animatronics without being stuffed inside a suit. Ooh. Which, that one doesn't work. This plan ends up being a bust, so William ends up having to hide the bodies. And he's manually. and once again weren't found. But once again, bodies were never found. That's just more of his experimentation on and his heading towards his goal on trying to become immortal. However, this is when Marionette starts to take action. He gives the toy. When his experiment didn't work, a new energy starts being released called Scam Likely Leave Me Alone, called Agony. And it creates two ghost-like beings whose bodies are made entirely out of this agony, named Shadow Freddy and RWQ FSF ASXC. These two animatronics are made entirely out of William's agony. And are ghost-like. We call these two the shadow animatronics. Or we call these two animatronics the shadow animatronics. So, Marionette uses the spare agony and remnant to give a second life to the second set of kids using the toy animatronics Mangle and Balloon Boy, giving them a second life through agony. And since their spirits weren't able to bond with the suits, since they never did bond with the suits. So finally, Jeremy Fitzgerald is moved to day position on day 7 and is bit by the animatronic Mangle, and is bit in the frontal lobe by Mangle in an event that the whole Five Nights at Freddy's fan base knows as the Bite of 87. Was that the Bite of 87? Yes, Markiplier. This is the Bite of 87. Not Fredbear. Fredbear was the Bite of 83. This is the Bite of 87. After the Bite of 87 happens, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza II shuts down instantly. The toys get scrapped. And then the toys, Balloon Boy and JJ all get scrapped, while while the Marionette runs off, or Marionette runs off and hides, and the only the 4 withered animatronics were left, and the Golden Freddy. So the 5 of them were kept. They had no choice but to keep the 5 of them in hopes to rebrand the company and bring the company back to life. Because after this, no. This is when Henry leaves. This is when Henry leaves the company and can't take it anymore. And to Michael moving in with Henry and his family, he's like, sure, I don't care, whatever. So Michael William gets really upset about all of that. And he ends up about finding out that Michael has moved away, and is not coming back. He tries to give Michael a call. Or he tries to call Michael, and he doesn't answer. Mrs. Afton tries to call Michael. He doesn't answer. This goes on for about a week of Michael not coming back. Throughout this time, William and the Mrs. Afton get into arguments and fights. Into a bunch of fights and arguments over Michael. Over Michael and his custody. And these fights end up with one day, William knocking on the door to his own house to see Mrs. Afton open the door and blood oozed out of Mrs. Afton's chest as she looks up at William, the one at the door, when she answered. She opened the door to be stabbed by her own husband with a knife. She drops dead on the floor. William then takes her body and throws her in the trunk of his car. And takes her to the underground bunker where her spirit will then possess Ballora. Illy BMW, how are you? Welcome to the stream. So now that's now two of the sister location animatronics possessed by a spirit. Circus Baby, who's possessed by Elizabeth, and now Ballora, who is possessed by the Mrs. Afton. Marionette is now on the loose, outside, and the only ones left for try to revamp the brand are Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. They basically have no choice but to use them again. But they didn't like how ugly and scary looking the first models looked. So they wanted to take a little bit of extra. Fazbear Entertainment wanted to take a little bit of extra time to make entirely new suits for them, so that way they look a little friendlier and not ugly and doo-doo in comparison the way they look now. So Michael, now hear me out, this bit is me trying to include what we got in the movie into everything that goes on. At this point, after between FNAF 2 and FNAF 1, Michael, before Mrs. Afton gets killed by William, out of spite and the loss of Michael and the loss of custody of Michael, Michael moves in with Henry's family, with Henry, his wife, and his and his youngest daughter, Sammy. Michael begins to grow a really lovely bond, like a very lovely family bond with Sammy. And oh my god, Sammy freaking loves Michael to pieces. Says like he was a part of the family from the very start. But Mrs. Afton, however, Mrs. Afton wasn't knowing who Michael's father is and has become. Henry's wife, the Mrs. Emily, wasn't very fond of this, or wasn't as fond of this idea as Henry and Sammy were. Or Henry was okay with it, Sammy was okay with it, but Henry's wife was not. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, your father is a murderer. I want no part of you. But it wasn't long till then when Mrs. Emily gets hit by a car and passes away. Really sad, tragic time. A really sad and tragic time there. So Henry's like, I can't do this. Michael, can you please do me? I need some alone time. Or I need time to myself after all of this. I can't take it anymore. Can you do me a favor? Or can you do me a huge favor? And Michael's like, sure, what's up? Take care of Abby. Not Abby. What am I saying? Take care of Sammy. Take care of Sammy for me. So they go to court, or to get Henry, Michael, and Henry, Sammy, and Michael all go to court. So that way, and Henry passes down. And Henry passes down the custody of Sammy and trusts it to Michael. And Michael promises Henry that he's gonna get a job and start making some money, and he will do everything in his power to take care of Sammy for him. While Henry went to get himself a rest from all the trouble he's been having recently. Lee thinks Henry has truly deserved it. Henry and Sammy move out and get their own small house together. They're with the money with some money in combination of what Michael already had, plus a little bit more from that Henry gave them. Enough to be able to rent a house. Till Michael gets his own money. Gets a job and his own money to be able to stay on their feet. Phone! Will you shut up? Good God, man. Madmaster 690. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the stream. We are getting on to the court. As a matter of fact, that's good. I hope you enjoy the stream. We're not gonna... I'm probably gonna get off of here shortly. But I hope you enjoy. We're heading towards the events of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 now. We've already covered Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and 4 on previous streams if you want to check those out too. MatPat quitting YouTube. I have not. Is he finally stepping down after Fajon defeated him? That's at least my opinion. Since Fajon started doing theories, he's been throwing a lot of MatPat's theories out the frickin' window. Though, in comparison to his. So, William and Michael both take precautions because they don't want to see each other again. William goes through plastic surgery and ends up making himself look like, what's his name? Matthew Lillard, aka Shaggy, aka that one, no, what am I doing? No, I did not hear MatPat was quitting YouTube. I'll have to look that up later. I'm gonna take a look at that later. So William goes through plastic surgery and ends up making himself look like frickin' Matthew Lillard to hide himself from Michael, to where if he ever finds Michael again, he's gonna murder him. That's what's on William's mind now, to find Michael and kill him. He also changes his identity, his legal identity, to, I believe it was, his name was Steve Raglan. He changes his name to Steve Raglan to, additionally, to hide his identity. And be like, oh my god, William Afton's no more. movie is canon to the games. You know what? I really don't either. As much as I say I don't either, however, hear me out. There are some things in the movie shows that does kind of reveal some things that could make sense about what we have in the games. Like, for instance, Henry has two daughters. We know Charlotte, his eldest daughter, who possesses Marionette. But what about his younger daughter, Sammy? Still don't... Nothing really ever talks... We don't really get much about Sammy in the games or the books, from what I know. At least, I haven't read a whole lot of the books. I can't afford the books. I think I've got, like, the first Fazbear Frights book, and that's it. So and like I said, these are just theories. Don't take the majority of this as canon. Take it as just a theory, right? Based on the information we do that we have and have been given. And with that said, I believe that Abby is Sammy Emily, Henry's youngest daughter. Before Henry leaves, he gets a favor from Michael and asks him if he can take care of Sammy for me. Michael complies, thinking Henry's gone through so much and has gone through too much than he needs to have and deserves a break. So they end up going to court so Henry can legally pass down the rights to Sammy to Michael, and then Michael is trying to hide from William, so he convinces Sammy to get a legal name change along with Michael. So Michael Afton and Sammy Emily respectively and legally change their names to Mike Schmidt and Abby Schmidt. You get what I'm saying? And this will obviously lead into, we are now 1993. There's events that happen in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 in the game before we even talk about the movie, because apparently the movie takes place in a timeline after the timeline of where the game takes place. From my knowledge, the events of the game Five Nights at Freddy's, the first game, takes place in 1993, while the events of the movie take place in 2003. All right. I think that should do it for. I think that should do it for this one. That's a segment. I think, in my opinion. That is a segment. Shout outs. We got 3 new people. We had Bon Ball, we had Illy BMW, and we had Madmaster 690. I appreciate y'all watching, and like I said, remember, these are just theories based on the information we've already received. And the way I see it. Yeah, this is not official. But stay tuned, because the next one we're going to be talking about FNAF 1. And this is when things are going to start getting juicy. And with that, this is Shredder the Devilish Leader bidding you farewell.